All right, comic fans, we got another interesting video today because I want to go through some highlights of the November's previews with the caveat that, yes, the original FOC for a lot of these books has passed. And another caveat is you can still pre-order these through a lot of sources. So whatever you're using, mycomicshop.com, DCBS, Midtown, whatever your pre-order service is, go ahead, check them out, and even through your LCS. But again, there were just some cool books in here, and I will do another one for December when I actually go through December previews. But anyways, this one is cool. Just there's a lot of cool stuff in here, from mainstream, some indie stuff, some art books, collected editions, single issues, other cool storylines for 2025 that I wanted to highlight. So we're going to jump into mycomicshop.com, which is where I do my pre-ordering for the most part. There have been a few occasions where I did use DCBS, but generally it's mycomicshop.com. So you kind of see the front loader or the main page here. And I have done a walkthrough of pre-ordering through them before, but this one, so you kind of navigate through to the pre-order page, and you see here, click on December previews. And now again, for November's previews, you can actually search the previous months, and some of those will be up depending on the final order cutoff date. So some of these are still up, and some have already passed. I did do a highlight of the first book, which you'll see is the Paul Smith's Uncanny X-Men Artist Edition from IDW. So just quick overview. Although the art appears to be in black and white, all artist editions are shot in color, so all the subtle nuances are clearly visible to the reader, and printed at 100% size as drawn, a massive 12 by 17 inches. Promise you, people, this is a big book. I have two of those, and I'll touch on those later. The only better way to see Paul Smith's original art would be to hold it in your hands. This volume not only includes pages from his original run on X-Men issues 165 through 175, but also showcases his classic 2-issue crossover event, X-Men Alpha Flight, plus all of his original covers and 2 special foldouts of Marvel Fanfare number 4 and X-Men Alpha Flight number 1. So, as I said, I do have 2 of these. I have the Dave Cockrum and John Byrne Artifact editions, and they are essentially the same thing. I think they did do away with the Artifact editions altogether, and they're all just now artist editions. And then they did reprint some of the original Artifact editions as artist editions, so some of them have come up again, namely I think Jim Lee's X-Men one, as well as may have done a John Byrne X-Men one, but overall this one, like I touched on this one, you saw the short I dropped on this one. Thought this was just cool because again, X-Men art, Paul Smith had a short run on there, but again, well received. And also this is just another X-Men book, so another X-Men art book, which I absolutely dig. But yeah, so Paul Smith's Uncanny X-Men Artist Edition. This one should be out around January 8th. And generally they go for about $125 or $150, depending on where you pre-order them from, or order them. If you order them outright after release, probably going to run you about $150 US. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested in just kind of appreciating art and pencils and inks and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Paul Smith's Uncanny X-Men Artist Edition from IDW. Then we move on to another big book. We have the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1. And as most omnibus do, they do come in like an original art cover we have here by Jack Kirby, and then we have one by Alex Ross. So you see both of those here. Definitely interested in this one because I have not read those early Fantastic Four stories. And it's either this or get some of the, what do they call it? The Marvel Masterpiece books. There should be enough. I don't know if there's enough early trades that collect those first issues, but we'll touch on those. So the debut and early adventures of the Fantastic Four, which laid the foundations for the Marvel Universe as we know it today. They were visionaries, explorers, imaginauts. They were Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And like the Fantastic Four, they continually strove to overcome the impossible and achieve the extraordinary. Now the first 3 years of their landmark run are collected in one oversized volume, including the FF's thrilling first battles with the Mole Man, the Skrulls, Submariner, Puppet Master, Molecule Man, the Hulk, and the arch nemesis, the tyrannical Dr. Doom. This keepsake edition also includes all original letters, pages, and pinups, critical commentaries, a historical overview, and other timeless extras. So we got the first 30 issues, as well as Fantastic Four Annual 31. So 31 issues collected, and a bunch of other back issue extras. Like back of the book extras, whatever you want to call them. back matter, I guess. Yeah, so pre-order full price at 125, but if you pre-order it, depending on where you get it from, you're obviously going to get that nice little discount. I think with the My Comic Shop discount, it should be in the 80s. I know somewhere between 83 and $87. I'm strongly considering this one again because I do appreciate, while I'm not the biggest Fantastic Four fan, I definitely appreciate their place within the Marvel universe and a lot of characters and stories that have come out of those pages, as well as obviously Stanley and Jack Kirby as storytellers, and obviously Jack Kirby gets a lot of that, rightfully so. So yeah, I am definitely interested in this one and curious for all you omnibus collectors out there, or is it something that you're interested in? Definitely curious. I do have some omnibus, and this is one that I pretty strongly might add to my bookshelf for some interesting early Silver Age reading. So yeah, Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1, Fantastic Four 1 through 30, and Fantastic Four Annual number 1. Now moving on, we have some single issues. I got a double dose from Image Comics. These are 2 ongoing series right now. I don't know how long they're supposed to last. This one, I don't know if this is a mini series right here, but this is The Moon is Following Us number 5. Daniel Warren Johnson and Riley Rossmo. I know a lot of people love Daniel Warren Johnson. He's probably one of the hot names in comics right now. But the strongest part of this for me is Riley Rossmo, who is an absolutely incredible creator, and stylistically his art just stands out, and he's a wonderful storyteller. I don't know if he can't even say he, I've never actually seen him, so Riley, I just refer to the artist as Riley. But so the synopsis, all it has is the final battle is at hand for Penny. I think this one is this family, like this couple. Is this the same? Yeah, I can't remember. I got these 2 synopses because I kind of read a lot about both of these titles together. So yes, The Moon is Following Us, and I'm telling you, Riley Rossmo, just seeing that name, anytime I see that name, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to check this book out. So again, this is number 5, so I have no issue jumping into a series. But for a series that's with still in early single digits, I don't know if it's going to be a mini series or if it's longer. Easy to pick up those other issues just to jump right in and catch up on. So won't require a whole lot of back issue hunting, and it might even still just wait for the trade. I don't know, but I probably will just pick up the first issue, try to find that just to read it and get an idea of how the story reads and how it all plays out. But it's just something I wanted to highlight because again, I'm a big Riley Rossmo fan, and anytime I can spotlight their art, I will absolutely do so. The other Image title is Napalm Lullaby, and he got the 2 covers here, Rick Remender and Bengal. All too often, those who love most turn on us. Sometimes, whether we're paying attention or not, we turn on them. Everyone justifies their own self-interest, but in the case of Sam and Sarah, it carries repercussions for us all. So this is probably an ongoing series, I believe so. Another one I just hadn't read too much about before, so I was kind of going through previews, and you just always discover a bunch of different gems. So I said, wow, all right, this sounds interesting. Reading on the original premise of the first issue and just kind of skimming through some of the other stuff. And it's definitely a series along with The Moon is Following Us that I'm interested in checking out. So this issue number 9, they probably will drop a trade some point after this. So if I don't pick up the issues, just to catch up on that, then I'll wait for the trade. But just want to point this out in case anybody else might be interested in it. Like I said, the premise sounded cool, and I'm a fan of Rick Remender and Bengal. So been following some of their work for years, especially Bengal. I don't know if it's Bengal or Bengal. I just call him Bengal. But yeah, Napalm Lullaby, number 9. You can see there, January 29th. So dropping late January. And I do believe issue 10 should be in the December previews. We'll check that out. And then we go into a new series. We got Mad Cave Studios. This is Kill Train. This is a miniseries, 5-issue miniseries. To control the population explosion that nearly crippled the city, New York has instituted Kill Train, a randomized extermination program where designated subway trains are picked at random and all the passengers are slaughtered by the end of the line. In this not-so-distant future, we meet Vanessa, a struggling single mom in the midst of a nervous breakdown, who discovers that she herself is on a kill train. Now, for once in her life and with everything to prove, Vanessa decides she's not going down without a fight. when I read about this one, I'm not even sure where I came across this, either Facebook or Twitter. And then, I don't know, maybe I saw it on here first, saw it in previews, and then looked it up just to see some of these other creators, see who they were. And yeah, and I definitely, if I do pick this up, I want that cover A with the characters up on the wall there in the train. The premise of this sounds cool as hell. 5 issue miniseries. I'm considering just waiting for the trade. We'll see. Haven't decided yet, but again, it's another one I just wanted to highlight because the premise sounded cool. I did look up some of Martina Niosi. I'm guessing it's Niosi's art. Just as get an idea of what the interiors might look like. So I'm curious, and I believe the writer Olivia Cortero Briggs is a screenwriter. So I think this might be her first foray into writing comics. So curious to see how that goes. And Skylar Patridge is the artist of the cover A on this one. Don't remember the artist for cover B. I forgot to make a note of that. But yeah, Kill Train, Matt Cave Studios, another indie publisher out there doing cool stuff. So Kill Train, 5 issue miniseries out late January. So if you're interested in that, take a look into that. And then we have Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum. Now this is actually just a one shot, but it's kind of setting up or continuing some events from this past year and into some stories for 2025 with from the Civil Corps, and this is kind of introducing the Fractal Lanterns. So following the events of the Civil Corps, a new era in Green Lantern mythology begins. Once again, Oa has become the epicenter of the Green Lantern Corps, bringing justice to the furthest corners of the galaxy. But a new threat has emerged. Beings that manifest uncontrolled parts of the emotional spectrum have randomly appeared throughout the universe. Dubbed Fractal Lanterns, Hal and the reformed Green Lantern Corps set off to police this strange new phenomenon while uncovering a sinister plot that could eliminate the very essence of sentient life. So, this one, well, I wanted to highlight this one just because you kind of adding another layer to the mythos of the entire Lantern Corps. And way back when this kind of exploded and all the other Lantern Corps popped up is when I really got into and jumped onto all the Green Lantern stuff because I hadn't read much before that. But when I kind of introduced all those, that's right around the time, well, I was jumped on like right before that. But that kind of just exploding the entire Lantern mythology was a big point for me. So this one could be another one I'm absolutely interested in checking this out. Bring all these other lanterns in, and then whatever they're planning to do with the Fractal Lanterns and setting up some stories for 2025. I'm curious. I'm sure it has a lot of other Lantern fans out there curious, and just others who might be a little bit more casual, have a little more casual interest in the entirety of the Lantern Corps and all of them. So yeah, also, there's a typo. I just noticed a typo on this. Witness the wrist of the Fractal Lanterns. Witness the rise. What happened there? Somebody's finger slipped. But we're not going to dwell on that. So yeah, Green Lantern Fractured Spectrum. Again, this is a one shot, dropping January 8th. So be on the lookout for that. And we have another trade. This is Lilith. So this is from Vault Studios, or Vault Comics, I mean. Lilith is an immortal who's been banished from her home, a dimensional plane suspiciously similar to mankind's idea of hell. She's been posing as a model on Earth while secretly preying on humans, that is, until she runs into Penelope, a sweet bookstore owner with a tome that might hold the secret to returning Lilith to her dimension, if the mismatched pair doesn't end up falling in love first. Along with their oversized three-eyed monster cat Gordy, who also possesses a huge appetite, eating up all of Mommy's leftovers, Lilith has a hell of a time trying to figure out fashion, friendship, family, and feelings on the long road to get back home. But home may not be the same as it used to be. So this collects the first 5 issues of this series by Corn Howe. It just, like, this cover just stuck out to me in one of the other previous covers. I think it actually might have been solicited along with this one for the next issue, perhaps. But, like, just starting the cover, like, okay, that is an attention grabber. So I had to look into this one and add it to my list for highlighting because, again, it just sounds interesting and want to see what kind of story this is. And I have had a look at some of the interior art, and it does look cool. Definitely following this definitely gives you a good representation of how the interiors look with the color scheme there, the color palette that they're going with. So I dig it. And as I said, I am clearly interested because it's on my list. And last but not least, we're going to go over to Dark Horse Comics for EC Archives Crime Suspense Stories Volume 4 trade paperback. So yeah, this one is just reprinting some of those golden age stories that have just stuck around forever. Obviously, those issues and some of the cover art have just made crazy numbers. They cost just collecting big price, commanding big price values now. Shocking pulp stories of crime and intrigue. This deluxe hardcover volume collects classic tales from crime suspense stories, issues number 19 to 27. So this is the final volume of that. From the hands of legendary creators Al Feinstein, Harvey Kurtzman, Johnny Craig, who did the cover, Jack Davis, Joe Orlando, and more. And you can kind of see all the creators who are involved here. And like I said, Johnny Craig did this iconic cover. This man hanging here, multiple genres. This is, I know a lot of people love the pre-court horror stuff. Like as far as Golden Age stuff, superheroes and the crime stuff, the cops, same as now. Like those always still reign supreme to me. Give me some superheroes or like some crime stuff, detectives, some crooks, some high stories. I'll eat that stuff up like you wouldn't believe. Same stuff I love in just pretty much every medium: video games, comic books, movies, TV shows. Like those absolutely just reign supreme to me. And yeah, so I am interested in checking out all of these. I don't know if it's supposed to be hardcover though. It does say trade. So I don't know if the previous volumes that were already released are uh trades or if they're hardcovers, because I know the first two are up on mycomicshop.com. So I don't know when volume 3 is supposed to drop. But so I don't know. I'm curious. But yeah, 320 pages. That's a trade in the format there. Release date of March 25th, 2025. So yeah, if you're interested in some EC archive stuff, they have been a significant effort in recent years. Actually, I don't know, over quite a few years actually, to kind of reprint some of those stories and get them back out there for people to reread some of those classics that have endured for so long without having to really just pay up for what those issues are commanding right now. But again, just something that I thought was interesting. And so yeah, so that was that. A lot of cool stuff in November's previews, and I will be doing a December one. If people are interested in more previous highlights, feel free to drop down in the comments, and I will continue doing this because, like I said, just wanted to highlight some different stuff, especially a mix of things from single issues to trades, hardcovers, omnibus, and an art book in there. And so nice little mix of comic book material for you. So yeah, share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in these, go check out the pre-order dates on all of these and see if you might still be able to get some of these. Some of these have later December FOCs, and some, at least the Lilith one, is into January. So you got a long time to kind of do some research on that one and check that out. But yeah, that is that. November previews. Happy reading, happy hunting, happy collecting. I'm Gino. This is Genotalkscomics. Thanks for watching and peace out.